So it's the holiday, right? You're hanging out, you got family and friends, you're doing a Friendsgiving kind of a thing or a Friends Miss Friends version of Christmas. Never mind. Anyway, or in my case, there's also clients who are hitting you up and calling you. You're just dealing with different people, different couples, different family situations that happen that are unique to the holidays, right? And you hear a situation on someone bringing a woman, bringing a male who she's interested in to the place, to the gathering, round the other family members, right? And all the dudes in the room are trying to tell this girl, yo, this guy's bad news. But she don't want to listen. Don't you hate when that happens? Well, that's today's lesson. Let your men help you. Let's get it in. So today's lesson is for the men and the women, for different reasons, of course. For you gentlemen, you're probably going to be thinking, yo, I've been in this situation so many times, I can't even believe how many times I would tell my little cousin this and that, or I'd tell my girl best friend this or that, or whatever reason that you've been in that situation, you've probably felt it before. And for you ladies, you're probably like, oh my gosh, all the guys in my dad doesn't like my boyfriend, and my cousin and my uncle don't like my boyfriend, and all. You could probably see where this is going, at least for me. You might have been in that situation too. So both sides, you're going to hear and understand what's going on. But really, ladies, this is about something that you need to learn. What? Yes, ladies. This is a situation where you all need to sit back and listen and learn. Learn from the men in your life. I know you can take care of yourself and you know what to do. Ain't no man gonna tell me. Just shh. I know. You might hate me right now. You might not like what I'm saying. And some man in your life slid this video to you and was like, just listen to what he has to say. So just, save the hate for after the video. It's not going to be long. So I'm going to break everything down. If you want to hate me, hate after you're done. But at least listen to this. Let the idea roll around in your head a little bit before you start hating. So hate after. So gentlemen, slide this video to a woman in your life who needs to hear this. So basic premise. Ladies, in order for you to truly be safe in these streets when you pick a dude, you should have a period of vetting of the men in your life who care about you, who are blood related. That's a thing. Your father, your brother, your cousin, if you have a son, hell, even your son. The men in your life who care about you, let them vet the new boyfriend or whoever the hell he is. For many, many reasons that we've gone over in other videos. But there are certain things that we as men recognize, certain nuance and idiosyncrasies that you can't tell as a woman. And one of the first rules, one of the most basic rules that men in relationships need to follow is what we're going to be talking about today. So, over this past holiday, there was a woman in my life who I talk to on a fairly regular basis. And we're in a room where a bunch of people are there, and she's talking about this new dude. And everybody, all the men are evaluating this new dude, and she doesn't understand it. All of us, but especially me, being the loudest, being the one who's like, nah, chop it. He's done. That's a no. She was like, what do you mean? Why not? And I told her this. I said he broke the first rule, the very first thing that you're supposed to do in a relationship. He broke that. And if he can't do that, he can't do anything else. Nothing else really matters after that. And the rule is thus. The man needs to protect you from everyone, including himself. So what does this mean, ladies? This means that any dude who wants to get with you, he's not just supposed to protect you from the outside world. He's not just supposed to protect you from other people in your inside world. He's supposed to protect you from everybody and everything he possibly can, but that includes himself. That means not just him on a physical level, making sure that he doesn't put hands on you or do anything like that. That's a given. That should be something everybody knows. That he needs to, if he's starting to trip out, you guys are getting into it, if he needs to, I don't know, physically do something, he should leave the room and you got to let him. He needs to leave the room, throw a pillow across the room, go to the gym, hit a punching bag, whatever he needs to do to get that physical energy out so it doesn't spill over onto you. So let him do that. That's what he's required to do. It's what he's trained to do. It's what he instinctively wants to do. So let him go do that. But the physical thing is not what we're going to be talking about today. What I want to emphasize is the fact that not just the physical, but everything else in his life that could be spilled out onto you, any kind of drama, any kind of conflict, anything that could be messing him up, his first thought should be to keep that away from you. So, ladies, how many times have you seen this in a movie or in a TV show where the guy tries to break up with the girl and leave her in order to protect her from him? Where he's, baby, I know I'm being chased by the mob right now and I love you, but we have to go. I have to go. You gotta stay here. But I don't want you to go. I want to stay with you. Nah, girl, I gotta keep you safe. You're not safe with me. I'm dangerous. You gotta go. You get the drift, ladies and gentlemen. How many times have you seen that? 17 million times. That is what's supposed to happen. The reason why it happens over and over and over again is because in real life, if a dude is doing what he's supposed to do, his first thought should be, my drama, I can't let that be her drama. If it's something chasing me, I can't let the thing chasing me get to her. So if it's chasing me, I gotta make sure she's somewhere else and safe. There's a million examples of what that could be. I'm not gonna go over all of them right now, but the main thing, ladies and gentlemen, is that that should be what it is. And in this situation with this person, that dude did not do that. He didn't follow the first rule. If he can't follow the first rule of protecting her from everything and everyone, including himself, nah, son, he need to go. Because that means when the stuff hits the fan, when it really gets hard, his first thought isn't about her. His first thought is self-preservation. That tells you everything you need to know pretty much about that dude. He is not someone you need to be with. Because life is always going to happen. Life, as you've heard me say many times on this show, life is always going to punch you in the mouth. And at that moment, who are you? That's who you really get to see who people are. And something had happened in this dude's life and certain things, and he was dragging her in. All the dudes were like, nah. She couldn't understand it. From her perspective, it was just, but I want to help him. I want to do this. And that's fine. Because let's, for example, say that you're married, right? Because the rule changes slightly when you're married, but not really. The man's first thought should still be, I'm going to protect my wife from this. You don't think I'm going to leave her, unless it's really big, I don't know, he's like an ex-assassin in his assassin world. People are coming after him, and then he's going to be like, wife and kids got to go over here. So that is a thing. But when it's certain things in a marriage, you try to deal with it together. But his first thought, even in those moments, even with your wife, still should be, how do I protect her and the rest of the family from all of this? If he doesn't have that protector mindset, if he isn't thinking, how can I shield them from everything going on? Nah, that's not the dude you need to be with, ever. Hell nah, deuces. Now, I'm not one to tell people to just break up all the dang time. That's not me. You know this. I'm trying to keep y'all together. But ladies, especially if you're in these middle stages, like you're in zone 2, zone 3 kind of a situation of your relationship, this is where you start to decide, is this going to be forever or is this going to not? That's not a forever dude. If a man can't protect you from him, that's the one you're sleeping next to. That's the first person he's supposed to protect you from. You kidding me? If you can't be safe with the dude sleeping next to you, or if you can only be safe when times are good, then you're not really safe. And that's like his main job. Protection. If he couldn't do anything else, if he couldn't provide for you, if he couldn't praise you enough, if he couldn't give you compliments, if he couldn't be romantic, if he couldn't do nothing else, dude better be a sharp sword that you can grab when things get difficult, when someone tries to roll up on you. When things are hard, is he going to be the sword that you can use to defend yourself? Or is he going to be something that cuts you? He shouldn't be something that cuts you. You shouldn't be cut by the thing or hurt by the thing that is supposed to be used to defend you. Yes, I'm calling men things right now. Dudes ain't going to care. So, whatever. But that's important, ladies. So if you want me to do a more extended video, let me know. Put it in the comments. But for the most part, ladies, yes, in a marriage, it does change slightly. Because yes, if he's running from the mob, you're going to be like, well, I want to run with you. Or I want to go with you. Or like, we're all going to stick together. And it's okay. It doesn't mean that he can't ever accept you sticking with him. It doesn't mean he can't ever accept, it doesn't mean that you have to always be the one that goes away and that's the only choice. But it should be the first choice. It should be the first thing in his head. It should be the first, second, third thing is to keep you safe. He shouldn't ask to drag you in. It should be something you volunteer or you push him to do it. You push him to be like, no, I've committed to be here with you. I'm committed to, and that's part of your job as well. Like, depending on the situation and what you can handle as a woman and how safe/unsafe it is. But that all kind of depends. It's hard to do this on a grand scale like this. I can't do a general overview. There's too many different variables. But for the most part, if his first thought isn't to keep you and kids, if there is no kids but you, away from danger, away from anything that's tainting his life, if his first thought isn't, let me not include her in this, he can tell you about it, sure. Communication is fine. But dragging you in and pulling you in to like help him, like, oh, I need you to hide this money from the seriously? Anything that could put you in jail? Oh, I need you to take the rap for me. What? Huh? Are you kidding me? Nah. Those are just movie examples. I'm not saying that's what happened in the scenario with the person in the story. But point is, I'm assuming you get the gist. Again, hit me with questions in the comments. But for the most part, ask your dude. Ask the man sitting next to you watching this. Ask your brother, ask your father. Ask the men around you to evaluate if this is a new guy. If this is some early stage thing for you ladies, listen to the men in your life because that was the key thing. This girl couldn't even see what was happening. She didn't know this rule. She didn't understand what was going on. All the dudes in the room who were like, nah. She didn't get why we were saying this. But all of us understood the nuance. All of us understood the idiosyncrasies. We get the rule book because it's tattooed on our soul. You as ladies don't really have that. Even if you had like a father or somebody who might teach you things, there's certain things you might not recognize are part of the rule that a man could either break or uphold. So allow them. Allow your brother to vet your people. Allow your cousin to vet your people, your dad, your uncle, your grandfather, whoever it is. But let a man do it. Yes, I know you. Yeah, I get to choose who I want to. Sure, you can choose. Ain't nobody said you can't choose. What I'm saying though is that if you really want to know who this dude is, you're gonna need a man to evaluate. I know you might not like it, but there's many things. This is just one rule that you won't see how it's being broken unless you're a dude. Hey, don't get mad at me, okay? I didn't create humans. I didn't create men. I'm not God. I didn't create the game, but I'll show you how to move through it. Okay? So, it's the end of today's lesson. And I know it might be a little difficult, all this evaluating and testing and trying to find out if this is going to be a good person for you or not. Yes, it's a lot of work. It's not the same as when you first got with them because acquisition is elementary. Retention is hard. It's the end of today's lesson. And today's lesson, like other lessons, are mostly free, but you got to pay a small fee in the form of a thumb. Whether up or down, doesn't matter. Just let a brother know whether you love it or hate it. Now, if you found value in this, go ahead and subscribe. Think about it. Now, hopefully, gentlemen, if you're watching this, because by the analytics, mostly guys are watching this, so slide this video to a woman who you think that you know needs to hear this message. All right? And I know you love these lessons. Where else you gonna get the content like this who are breaking down the structures of a man's mind? Well, other places might try, but they're not as good as us. You know what I'm saying? So even if you go venture out, see some other things, that's fine. But you're gonna come right back here. Where you really gonna go?
Where you going? Nowhere.
So come on back, click on another video. Until next time, though, deuce deuce.